Hi Taurus, and welcome to your love reading for singles for October 2017. I've already posted the general readings, and you can contact me directly. My email is in the about section. Just give me a minute here. So this card represents where you're at mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Your advice card, what's blocking you, and the outcome card. And you got two cards, came out together as the outcome. I want to see, okay. So let's look, first of all, where you're at. Emotionally, you've got the mentally, sorry, you've got the beautiful Queen of Cups. So mentally, either Taurus, you're focusing on a person who represents these qualities. She'd be very, very kind, very compassionate, very loving, or this is you, Taurus. This is you feeling mentally like going forward in your life. You feel full of love. You've got this golden gown, which means you've overcame quite a lot of challenges. Not all of them yet, because you've got the Seven of Wands showing up. But there's a state of openness here, and a state of willing to be vulnerable, to risk love, to risk intimacy with this Queen of Cups. Emotionally, you are the Six of Wands. So, and I'm sure you got this in your general reading, there's been some success, some victory, some achievement. In this card, he's been in a battle, and this is him coming out the other side. He's won, and people are cheering him because there's a sense of personal achievement here. Like some difficulty has been overcome. Maybe it's a difficulty in, there's a part of you, Taurus, that's maybe kept yourself a bit separate from love. Because your advice card is the Five of Discs, which is about coming out of isolation, connecting again with spirit, connecting with love, which is the beautiful Queen of Cups. So I think mentally and emotionally, you potentially are in a really good place here. I still think there's a few steps to be done here, Taurus. So spiritually, you're the Seven of Wands. So there's a sense of behind this door, to me, this is how I understand this card. Every reader is different. Behind this door lies your vast world, okay? It's about intimacy, yeah? And there's a part of you still not sure and still a little bit guarded here regarding that willingness to trust and that willingness to let someone in. So there's a little bit of a contradiction here, but mentally, emotionally, I think you've overcome some stuff, because the Queen of Cups is an alchemic process, remember? She's gone through disappointments, heartaches, and mentally I've got you in a really quite a, actually what I want to say is a really quite beautiful place mentally. This real regalness around your energy, and I love that for you. I think there's something been overcome. But spiritually, you're still feeling the need to protect yourself. If you look carefully, the door's not fully shut either. So this is neither a good card nor a bad card. And I can't stand that thinking anyhow. Just give me a minute. But you're definitely still feeling the need to protect your inner world a little bit, okay? Now, what you've been asked to do here is to move away from the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles, like the image tells a story, is people who are out in the cold, a bit disconnected from that beautiful flow of life. There's something very, very similar between these two cards. And it's almost that you've been asked to drop that feeling of separation, that feeling of, oh, I've just got a feeling, Taurus, it's about being out in the cold and to move into the light. And that sounds like such a cliche that I'm squirming when I say it. But you've been asked to move into that beautiful flow of life, basically. To trust. And to maybe open that door a little bit more, so you can allow more spirit in, and eventually to allow more love in. I know this makes sense, Taurus. I know it does. Not to everyone. Now your challenge, what's holding you back and blocking you is this Knight of Swords. Okay, I think for some viewers, this is going to be someone that you've met in your life before. I'm not going to make generalizations in a general reading because it upsets people, but maybe you've met someone before who's been a bit of a brute with your heart, okay? Because this King of Swords in his worst can be like that, and his influence is still lingering with you. He knocked your connection with love, basically. Now, for everyone watching, that isn't going to be the case, okay? And if that's not the case, what's blocking you is maybe you're too much in your head rather than in your heart. You're too much in logic, that sort of thing, rather than connecting with the energy of your heart, the energy of spirit. You're standing separate. You might be focusing on a lot of academic work. There's something, I really like the King of Swords, okay, but there's something as a blockage. It's almost, if this is not a person from your past, there's a part of you keeping yourself separate again. So you could be focusing too much on academia, getting things done, practical stuff. This is your challenge. You've been challenged to move into this connection, but you're ready, because look at this Queen. But there's a part of you still keeping yourself separate, and it's because, I think, because trust somewhere has been broken, or for some people it's just that sense of, well, life never happens to me, you know, it's that feeling of not being lovable or being out in the cold. Something's keeping you separate here, and only you really know what that King of Swords means. He'd be about the mind, okay? He'd be a great banker or solicitor, something like that. But when it comes to matters of the heart, Taurus, you really don't want him here, and he's what's blocking. So he could be what's keeping you feeling is separate. Now your outcome, 2 cards, Knight of Cups, very positive, and the 2 of Swords. So very interesting. It's almost movement, but you're still a little bit in the unknown. This 2 of Swords, as you can see, some people call it the stalemate card. It can be. It's a non-action card, but she's got a golden blindfold on, and she's got this beautiful sort of beautiful energy to her. And I think she's got a beautiful energy because you've potentially connected with this Knight of Cups, whoever he is. He's a bit like this 6 of Wands. It's about someone who's overcame something. As you can see, he rides through this dark forest holding the Holy Grail because he's won. A bit like this 6 of Wands. There's been some sort of battle here, Taurus, and you've overcame it. And I think the greatest battle is with this 5 of Discs, being separate from love, separate from the world, a bit out in the cold. Still feeling a bit guarded here spiritually, But what a great place emotionally and mentally you're in. This King of Swords as a challenge is going to be different for everyone. He's either someone that you've been involved with who's maybe pierced your heart a little bit, or you're just focusing on the mind too much, keeping yourself separate. And we all need to do that at times. But what it's also saying is don't let this King of Swords keep you in this Five of Pentacles. Move forward. And by the end of it, you are, by the looks of it, because you're connecting again with your heart and you're on a horse. Either someone's coming into your life or you're boldly going forward into someone else's life. That's what the potential is here. I have to say, Taurus, this is a very intimate reading. It's almost like a personal reading, this, and I think it's quite beautiful though if you work with it, because we've all got that within us, that Five of Pentacles. We all feel separate somewhere, and you've been asked to overcome this. Okay, Taurus, I hope this helped and I've not upset too many people. Okay, loads of love, bye.